So I didn't know how serious he was until the next day I walk in, and I'm hanging out at the studio, and these really frightening big girls come into the studio, right? So they walk into the big live room here, and Tone is just, he's a redhead. Well, his face matched his hair. I mean, unbelievably, and he was freaked out, and Mr. Simone kicked his butt. And they videotaped this whole thing. Well, at the beginning of that second song on Warning, you can hear Tone getting beat. I've been fortunate enough to, become friends and do things with them. From what I see, Green Day is the tightest knit family you can never get between those guys. Those guys have a bond like no one else's business.
But Warning also marked a difference to previous albums.
Again, they were trying to go in an entirely different direction from Nimrod. And it was about being at this age and to like take their lives and to animate them and to say, hey, you don't have to live by the rules. There are no rules. Make your own rules. Don't suffocate and become an adult and not have choices anymore. I mean, there's a song like Minority, and even if you're a minority of one, I mean, that doesn't mean you're not right. It's their most personal album. It's really autobiographical, yet it really is probably the least punk and the most rock. I mean, there's a sense of almost like, again, like early Beatles, Billie Holiday, Bobby Fuller 4 kind of vibe, really early days of rock kind of music. And they said that they were listening to things like Tom Waits and Bob Dylan and Revolver before they made it. So I think it's one of those cases of you are what you listen to.
Green Day were now punk rock heroes, with 6 top-selling albums under their belt. So, how have they changed as people?
They still live here, and Billy Joe bought a house up in, I think, the Berkeley Hills or something. Every once in a while, you'll be like, we would see them driving a pickup truck or something, and you go, oh yeah, it's Billy Joe, and he's totally recognizable, or you bump into him and you go like, Trey, man, he's like, he's got a beard now. Or you'd say, oh, they're getting old and fat. Huh, I knew that'd happen to them someday. They made fun of me.
One night I saw Billy Joe in the local Long's drugstore buying Excedrin PM, and a little girl came up to him and asked for his autograph. I mean, they're the type of guys who just never turn anybody away. I mean, even today. I mean, I'll see Billy Joe at the gym, and he's a regular guy.
It's cool you run into him at like the doctor's office and stuff, I mean, they're around. I was just down on 4th Street, which is like this totally yuppie shopping center, and there they are down there pushing their baby carriages and stuff. I mean, they're around. They're local.
Despite the fact they're rock stars, they do have a split personality. I know in an interview Billy Joe told me that on one hand he is a father, on the other hand he wants to be the arrogant rock star every now and then. And the thing is, the two roles do clash. I mean, it's hard to be out on the road and have people adore you and then go home and have to change a diaper. They live normal lives.
Mike's time is dedicated to his daughter, when he has a spare moment, we chill out. We'll go out to dinner, or we'll just go do something wacky or something, go dirt biking or, kayaking or fishing. Same with Trey. Trey and I plan on going to a football game pretty soon. And just do regular things.
It's nice that they're still local and that they are in the neighborhood. They could have moved to Paris or whatever, and they didn't, because they grew up here and they like it.
Billy Joe actually bought a house on my route amongst all the doctors and lawyers and Nobel Prize-winning professors and so forth. And they had a nanny. I think they went through about 2 or 3 nannies during the time that they lived on my route. The dog looked just like him, a little round-head dog with big eyes. And usually you give your mailman something for Christmas. I didn't get anything. I always thought that was funny.
And they've also, supported local bands that had helped them out when they were just kids starting off. And so it's nice, it's like they didn't forget their roots, and they didn't just forget that Gilman Street existed and had helped them out.
Well, I think they've become more themselves. I think they've become more comfortable in their bodies. But they are really tremendous guys. I mean, they're really good. I think a measure of a man is how he treats the little people.
The members of Green Day were just 16 when they recorded their first record and have subsequently produced a highly acclaimed body of work.
The reason that Green Day is a massive success is very simple. Good melodies, well-structured songs, and raw energy. And that's a formula that has worked since, you know, the first person banged a rock against a stick. It's just what makes great music, and they definitely have a piece of that.
They've wanted to maximize their potential. They've had a dream. They've gone for it. They wanted to be a rock band like the rock bands that they've loved, and they've never wavered from that.
Your rise to success has been extremely rapid. Were you expecting it to go so quickly?
Well, we always knew Billy was a good tattoo artist.
He was a really good tattoo artist, actually.
Their songs are amazing, and Billy's and Mike and Trey are incredible performers, and technically, you know, incredible musicians. And I think that when you have a combination like that, and you have a certain element of star power or something sort of like, you know, really unique, that's what makes a band successful.
Now, does this have anything to do with your rise to success?
As a tattoo artist.
As a rock band?
What?
You
got the wrong guy.
They write catchy pop songs that people remember and that kind of strike a chord with them. And they manage through very little effort to be kind of like cartoon characters.
Green Day were very funny. They had a lot of inside jokes, and a lot of them were, especially Mike. He was just hanging out with them a lot of times would consist of Mike just being very funny and cracking us all up. And they were just fun guys. You know, they loved to party, and we would just hang out, and the kind of guys that weren't strictly identified as band members, they were just also people you saw at a party or whatever and hung out with and had a beer with.